luckily we have, two very seasoned people who are sort of leading us in this wonderful town hall environment. Shannon has been bringing people together through her Business Acceleration Network. She's done so much in terms of getting media exposure for people and raising money and so many things. I could go on and on. I'm not going to do that. But just know that she leads with her heart, and she's like my eternal optimist. Shannon's my eternal optimist. Now Dale, on the other hand, he's more like my eternal realist. Okay, so and they balance each other so well. It's really great. But Dale's the founder of King's Counsel and Trust Family Office, and he really has been talking about this for years. And I've known him for several years now, and I can remember him telling me about this premonition of like what's going to be happening in the world, and it's almost like he's a soothsayer. Like everything he was talking about is happening now. And so they've been so we've been having these town hall meetings, and they've been leading us in navigating through this. So I just want to say thanks to them for doing that and really being there for all of us. And they provided a wealth of materials. I'm sure Shannon will mention this in the box files that are really nice and extremely helpful. So you should be checking that out. And then, of course, this week's special guest is the one and only Bert Oliva. Yay! And Bert is an international orator, and he's a leadership expert. So he focuses on helping companies and individuals tap into their greatness by teaching them leadership, communication, and improvement in their overall performance. So we're really fortunate that he's here with us today. Thanks for being here, Bert. I'm going to turn it over to you, Shannon. It's all yours.
All right. Thank you so much. Those of you that don't know Dr. Bob Levine, please go to meetdrbob.com. He is been so instrumental in helping people internationally get rid of pain, get rid of stress. Really excited to have him a part of our family because he's been a great catalyst also for teaching us how to navigate communication. He knows so much about the brain. He's like the world leading brain researcher who's garnered millions of dollars in that aspect. And so I always feel blessed, Dr. Bob, to have you here. And thank you so much.
Thank you.
We don't have him. We have his amazing wife, Charlene, and we love that you participate with us. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Shannon.
We're here.
Lots happening.
Lots have happened in a week. Yeah, yes. So those of you that are just joining us for the first time, thank you for being here tonight. We're really excited to share some of the updates. Have you hear from somebody who's been a big instrumental catalyst in my life and pivoting some of the directions that I've been in, both in business and personal. Many of you know him from the Business Acceleration Network, and it was just wonderful talking to you, Bert, this week, talking about how, again, we're going to be coming together, hopefully in the future, creating live events where we're transforming lives. We both have that.
The future is now.
The live events where we're coming together with hundreds of people. Yes.
The live events are coming.
You know what I really love? Dale in Spanish, all the Latin, like Pitbull says Dale, right? So I'll never forget the man's name.
I love my name in Brazilian. It's got that Portuguese, Spanish twist. It's like, oh man, I totally get you, brother.
Yeah, when you look like Pitbull, he does all that rap music or whatever. He says, "Dale" means just do it. So Dale means just do it.
I like it. I like it.
So we're really excited to hear from you tonight, Bert. Wanted to just do a quick, those of you that have just joined us for the first time, just do a little bit of recap and share some of these incredible gems that we've been putting together over the last couple of months. If you are not a part of the box, this is like our virtual office. This is something that Dale in the King's Counsel family office has been using with a lot of the members there, and he's opened it up to give it to everyone for free. And we've been sharing a lot of the resources that are there. So I wanted to just give you an overview. Many of you are in here and working on stuff, but this all started based on the premise of love your neighbor. And this is a time when we really need to come together to Love Your Neighbor. Do you want to share a couple seconds about that before I share a couple of other things?
Only insofar as in your bio, your briefing, we've talked about getting ready, getting your house in order, and coming out of this, thriving, a better new you than possible. That's part of why we're really excited to have Bert on tonight. But out of this transformation is we've got a local neighbor here, a client of ours that has leaned on a couple other brothers and sisters that is getting ready to come out of the gate and not just do well locally, but potentially set the world on fire with a really impact opportunity in a lot of different ways that lives and breathes and embodies what we believe in. And keep your eyes. You're going to learn about it soon. Sometimes one of the principals will sit in tonight. He was here a week or two ago. But don't be surprised if you hear about some more of what we have. Yeah, George is here. What's going on? And there's an incentive to spread the word. But more than that, as you're telling your story, if there's a way that I think that you can add value to what's going on, I will certainly plug you. But for tonight, this is not my show. I'm glad to share the stage with someone that can take us out of the gate and go well.
So in the Love Your Neighbor, it'll go through some of the principles of what the policy that we work with, and really invite you to take a moment to look at this piece. And then also some of the key things that people love about what's in the box. And again, if you're not in the box, just have to put your email in the chat room and we're happy to add you here. Here's all of our prior town hall meetings. And we continue to get rave reviews about number 2, and that's kind of like the next 90 days, what to do with cash in case of emergency. Obviously, we're over halfway through what's been happening, but there's some really beautiful stuff there to help you get ready, prepare your house, because a lot of people don't have their house in order. And then the family love letter, this is another one, number 7. These were funding resources. So please take a moment to explore that. And then
Shannon,
yep.
I just want to interject something about this since you're on the subject, the family love letter. That's really brilliant because it puts together everything that you need to have in one place. And so Charlie and I have been working on that. And it's a living, breathing document, which is really great. So, we're changing a lot of our insurances right now. So we go into the love letter, which, it's version 1. We go in, change all the things, and then we have version 2, and then we can spread that, give it to the appropriate people. Like my brother in New Jersey is going to have the copy of this, and my Charlene's sister in West Virginia is going to have a copy. And so the key people who need to know about what's where will have copies of this letter, and it's a living, breathing document. So any changes that happen, the things are changing all the time right now. So it's really great to be able to go back in there, make the appropriate changes, and then have a new version. So thank you, Dale, for putting this up here so that we can all use it. It's really a valuable tool. We've already talked in the past about how without having this, all this stuff together, and Shannon, you highlighted that with your family too. You shared about that as well. So anyway, just check out the love letter if you haven't already done that. And I'd get in, I think you should get in there and just start working with it. Thank you. That's all I'm going to say.
Make it part of your new, if you had a thing you call New Year's resolutions, no more. Throw that out. That's garbage. That doesn't last past January. Take your family and spend that time that you put in and energy there and revise this. Who was born, who may have passed, who graduated, what changed with your plans, your insurance. You mentioned that, real big one right now. Everything. That's a wonderful time to get the family together while it's still holiday and get everybody included. What are mom and dad doing this for? And to be a part of things before it's too late. So thank you for sharing that testimony, Bob.
Yeah,
glad to hear it.
And we have Daylight here, who we're thinking she's being inspired to help people with some of this too, maybe.
It's kind of cool.
She, when Daylight and over the years have connected, she used to help people plan their funeral and actually have their celebration before they passed. So it's beautiful to have people that are opposite of me, where I ran away from talking about death and avoided this stuff until, my recent passing of my dad. The other key point with the transition is in case of emergency, this is something that is really powerful. Again, it's printouts, it's information, it's resources checklists. So these are all really important tools to be looking at. And then here's our community. So this is where we invite you to come in, put your bio, put your LinkedIn. You can see and learn more details about individuals that are part of our community, and we invite you to do the same. So with that, any questions before we chime in?
I personally like to see a whole lot more in the way of volunteerism, but I think if you have to ask for volunteers, the authenticity of what shows up may not be as genuine. So for those that have, I say thank you. But hold on, we're getting ready to make a huge splash and make a huge difference in this now, and this emergence of how we come out on the other side of this, and we all get back to work in our better selves.
Awesome.
So there.
The key words being back to work.
So I'm going to turn it over to Bert. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I have a question. Tell me more about this community. Is it something people have to buy into, or okay?
Maybe you do, Bert. Maybe you'll have to, but nobody else does.
No, the reason I'm saying is because this is phenomenal. What we need to do, and when I say we, is everyone that's involved, they need to spread the word. This is not just holding on to the person that created it, like let's say Bob and Shannon and Dolly. It's not just them making this movement. It needs to be, everyone needs to promote. If you're here, don't be selfish. Let other people know with the values and the stuff that you can get out of this. Because as this grows, you will grow. Your surroundings will grow. It will be a great place for people to network and get to know each other. When I'm looking at something like this powerful, I hadn't seen it until right now. I did see, I told you I had seen the lives before. And that's when I got a little man crush on Dale when I heard him speak about what he was doing. And I was like, this is pretty powerful stuff. So at the end of the day, what I'm saying is a lot of times we keep these secrets to ourselves when we should be promoting it, especially in today's world. You know, this group here should be 3 times the size. You know, I don't even know how long you guys have been doing this. And again, they're not paying me for this, but this is, when I see something of value like this, we need to promote. We need to all work together and remember, more people that are involved in organizations like this, the more you're.
We lost you, Bert, I think. Did we lose Bert?
Got frozen there, man.
Maybe.
Anyway, that's a great message, Bert. And I now that you say that, I see the whole. What's missing? The missing is, hey, get on this call. You know, be here with us. And then when you say 3 times, I'm thinking 30 or 300. You know, I mean, times bigger. And I realize my deficiency, and I'm going to change that starting right now based on your message, Bert, in terms of getting the word out there. Be on this call. Let's talk.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just being honest. I mean, part of the reason there's so many opportunities online right now, but a lot of them are garbage, right? You get into a lot of these rooms and stuff, and it's just the same thing over and over again. For something like this is innovative and new, and you actually have all these resources. Why keep it to yourself? Share the wealth. Let other people know. In fact, I recommend that each one of you should take it upon yourself to invite 1 person to every meeting. And that will, you know, it's compounding interest. It won't be like 2 people next month or 3. It'll be 5, 10, 15, 30. And then when you have a movement like that, that's when we make a difference. That's when things change. You know, I mean, and I'm just saying this because this is, I've worked with Shannon for a long time, and Dr. Bob and David, and I love these guys. And, you know, they're always about sharing information, but we need to all do it. In order to be able to help the world become a better place, it's not going to happen by keeping this room locked up. It's about expanding, right? Make sense?
I see why you saved the best for last. I like it.
What?
I see why she saved the best for last.
So what do you want me to do today, Shannon? In fact, I think Diane was in an event I had this morning. Was that you, Diane? Yeah, we had an event. We had a Master Your Business Online event, and I remember seeing Diane. We had about 60 people show up today, and I just remember Diane being there. So
twice in one day, it's an amazing thing, huh? Good to see you, Bert.
So,
same here.
So part of why I asked Bert to come is Bert is somebody that I feel is helps people tap into their potential, helps people kind of realize where their blocks are and what's next. I was going to grab your book and I didn't grab it. Everybody needs his book. Oh my goodness, Bert, do you have one handy that you could grab and show people?
I'll be right here.
When I first read that book, it was like the case studies and the information. It was such a quick read, easy.
Don't drink the Kool-Aid. Think red, rational, educated decisions. And a lot of the stuff that's in the book is a lot of the stuff that Bob actually teaches. It's about human behavior and conditioning mindset. So the way we did it, we broke it down so the average person can pick up the book. It's really thin. It's a quick read. And it's actually, it has resources like Shannon was saying. You can actually go back and look at some of the stuff. But no, the book is great, you know, and thank you, Shannon, for bringing me in here. And I'm sorry to cut you off, but I just get.
No. I was like, please share your book because I did a production fail of not having it. And so my hopes is that at the end of after Bert's done, we'll open it up for questions. We want to hear from each of you, but I would love to hear kind of how you're guiding people to navigate this pivot that's happening.
Okay.
And also, you know, I have not been to an event where you haven't just moved people. So I trust whatever you want to share. I know you're also a social media expert. Those that haven't followed Bert.
By the way, I became a social media expert because of Shannon. David, you remember we're in Orly's event and I walked up to you and I said, I'm really mad at Shannon. He goes, really? Why? It's like, because one day I brought her on stage and there was a few people that were my students and I said, you know, can you give me a testimonial? And everyone said, yeah, Bert's changed my life. You know, the information, the subconscious program. And then Shannon comes up and says, he's really good at social media. I'm like, why would she say that? Next thing you know, a year and a half later, 2 years in, I'm doing social media. So be careful when Shannon says something, she's actually looking beyond what sometimes we have certain things we want to do, but other people will see certain talents that you're not really focusing on. And you just need to have an open heart and open mind. And, you know, I give my credit of me doing social media today. The push that I needed came out of Shannon and BAS, the Business Acceleration Summit.
Awesome. Well, thank you. So I'm going to turn it over to you. Grab a notepad and paper, buckle up, because
yeah. So what to do is I'm going to go ahead and do this a little different. I did a webinar this morning. Diane was part of it. I'll probably do that same webinar talking about social media, but I'm going to do a little twist so Diane doesn't get bored. And we can actually talk about, like, for some example, if you guys are attending Zoom meetings, get yourself a backdrop. You know, if you guys want a sample of this one, we'll send you the image so you have the actual size. And what I tell people is do something that where you can speak in the middle and you're not covering your logo or your information. So this is a template. What we do is we'll go ahead and send you a copy of the template. And then all you have to do is have a designer for you create your information over here and then your logo or whatever contact information. So have a background, and I'll give you an example. You know, I'm going right here off the cuff before I go to PowerPoint. If you go to preference, you can actually change that background. So when you are actually doing an event, let's say I'm talking to you about business, your business online. If I was speaking about mastering your influence online, that would be a different background. If you notice the words change, it's a different program overall. And then over here, if I'm doing my mastermind group, which is called Bert Oliva's Power Partners, the background changes also. So having a bunch of these backgrounds, if I'm doing an interview for leadership and human behavior, I would use this background. Make sure you take it to that level. It's not that difficult to do. And the reason is because you're always branding yourself. If you are in a Zoom call like this, you want to stand out. Bob is doing a great job by having a banner, but also people will be distracted by looking at certifications on the wall and saying, I want to see what that certification is all about. This way, I'm controlling what it is I want you to see. So another thing that people are having issue with is they put up the green screen and they start disappearing within the green screen. There's two reasons for that. Number one is because your lighting is need to do is make sure that your green screen, the light is actually clear or laid out evenly on the actual green screen. Once it's even, you won't have that issue, number one. Number two, if your green screen has creases, iron it out or just do some steaming on it in order for it to lay flat. Because wherever there's a crease, it now becomes invisible when you do the background. Also, Zoom allows you to use any background you want. So that wall has beige in it. What happens is when you have beige, you'll disappear with the background. That's why green screen is so powerful, because chances are you're not going to be wearing a bright green shirt when you're doing a presentation. So that's why green screen, and today you can get a green screen for like $20. Just make sure it's ironed out. You have it laid out in the back. You have good lighting. When the lighting is good, you won't be disappearing, you know, and that's one of the issues that people are having. And then having your background ready. Let me go ahead. Shannon, can I share a PowerPoint here?
Absolutely.
Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and share this PowerPoint. And this is a PowerPoint that we did today. When you do your PowerPoint and you're asked to speak, again, I'm breaking it down because it's Shannon's group. This is what Diane saw today, but I'm going to add a little bit of the human behavior behind it. Everything, even though we're talking on a digital platform, you're still dealing with human beings. At the end of the day, people are like, well, it's different. No, it's not. I'll tell you what the difference is. When you're speaking in a large audience, like one of Shannon's events, you have, let's say, a few hundred people there, you're speaking to certain groups, you feel the energy coming from a certain side of the audience, right? So let's say my right side, I'm connecting with that side, but my left side, I'm not. Then you would walk to that side and connect with your audience. However, on a digital platform, virtual, everyone that's in front of you, you're connecting with them. They feel like you're speaking to them. So we'll talk about that a little bit later when I talk about how to look at and work on videos when you're doing presentations in Zooms like this one. Being able to connect with your audience is extremely important. And the thing is that you're really connecting with everyone one-on-one. Right now, if I'm speaking to you, you think I'm speaking to you. So Bob is saying he's just talking to me, while Shannon and Dale is saying, no, he's talking to me, because there's the connection to the world is that iris. You want to make sure you become comfortable with the lens, whether it's your phone or your computer, because that's how the person is going to feel connected, number one. So when you're doing a PowerPoint, make sure you have like your demo reel or introduction video. When you get on a digital platform, even your social media, act as if no one knows you. Don't go in there and say, oh, I'm Bert Oliva. I've been speaking for over 26 years all over the world. Some of my best friends are, you know, Brown, you know, Zig Ziglar, Jim Rohn taught me a lot. Yeah, that's great. But if you've never seen me, then this is the first time you're seeing me. Use what you have. If you have an introduction video, a demo reel of some sort, like David has a few, I would go ahead and put it in the PowerPoint. So usually when the PowerPoint starts and I'm being invited to speak, I'll go ahead and press my intro video.
The following is rated R for results and may not be suitable for the negative mind. Bert Oliva is an international orator, as well as a renowned authority on leadership and human behavior. For over 2 decades, Bert Oliva has touched the lives of hundreds of thousands of people. He speaks around the world about his experiences, and his teachings have enchanted audiences all over the world, showing them the power of mind over matter. Bert has a dedicated social media following and an impressive online influence few possess.
People are looking for that edge, you know?
And you know who's going to get us there?
You tell me.
Bert Oliva.
Bert Oliva.
Enabling him to communicate with all kinds of audiences.
Considered the voice of inspiration and motivation.
He has developed many programs, recorded audio CDs, and written books, all of which to help those ranging from individuals to corporate and Fortune 500 companies. He has dedicated his life to speaking all over the globe and met some of the most influential and powerful people in the world. He has also highly successful business executives and politicians
To influence millions of people around the world. Make it happen. Making it happen.
Bert Oliva is a success and the father of humanology. So get ready to learn tools that will help you tap into your potential. Get ready to connect and be part of a positive, world-changing mission. Get ready to have an experience you won't soon forget. Please help me welcome Bert Oliva.
Now, an example, some of you have seen that. Some of you have seen it many of times. However, it doesn't matter. A lot of you maybe have never seen it. So this gave me instant credibility. You're automatically saying, well, this guy has been around the world. Now they're going to listen to you. So whatever you have as a video introduction, or even if you want to go ahead and create a quick PowerPoint slideshow, that says that this is what you've done and is showing social proof, that automatically allows you to not only present and people pay more attention to what you're presenting, but also at the same time, when it goes to you selling a product or a service, it's not a hard sale anymore, because they're looking at you and saying, well, if this is good, imagine what else I can get from this person. And I want people to realize in today's world, it's not about selling packages and programs. It's about giving as much value as you can, because the goal is not to sell a program or a product. The goal is to buy access to you. When you realize that people want to spend more time with you, they'll pay whatever amount the money is to be with you. So you don't have to worry about selling a product. Like today, I'm going to give you an example of how that works. So I would go with my PowerPoint and say, well, the first thing I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and for the next 45 minutes, which I'll speed it up a little bit. For the next 45 minutes, we're going to help you guys master your business online. However, at the end, I'm going to go ahead and talk about mastering your influence online with our webinar with me live. Would it be okay for me to actually talk a little bit more about this workshop? Give me a thumbs up, right? So you're asking for permission. They're going to say yes. So this way, now you don't have to worry about when I get to this part where I'm going to offer something, like I don't feel uncomfortable. Most people feel uncomfortable because they leave the offer to the end. By the time they get to the end, they've done an amazing presentation that they hesitate at the end. When there's a hesitation, people will not buy. But if I've already presented it, you guys gave me an opportunity to say, you guys gave me a thumbs up. That's it. Subconsciously, human behavior, right, Bob? Subconsciously, I've been told that it's okay. So when I get to that point in my presentation, I'm not going to have an issue presenting my offer. So again, this is another tool that I didn't bring up earlier today, Diane. But you know, this says you're enjoying this, Diane, even though it's the second time you're seeing it. Usually, movies get better when you see it over and over again. So these are the 3 steps. Step 1, I want you to take pictures. I'm going to put up the slides and I'm going to put up all the information at once. That way you can take a picture. And then that way, as you're taking your notes, you can go back and reference to that picture. Number 2, step 2 is to go ahead and follow me on social media, preferably Instagram. Once you follow me, I will send you a cheat sheet of the entire presentation. However, you have to follow me and send me a direct message. And direct message can go as follows. I was at your webinar or just, and then we will send you the cheat sheet of the information. Number 3, take action. Whatever you learn today, even if it's confirmation, I truly believe that confirmation sometimes is better than learning something new. But if you don't apply it, it doesn't do anything for you. Take action. Diane, this is a second round, so you're going to get it. This time you will retain even more information, but start applying it. Just by taking information, joining all these Zooms and meetings every day all over the place is not going to change your business. What changes your business is the actions you take. At the end of the day, greatness is waiting for you once you tap into it. Most of the times we're like, maybe not today. Maybe I'm too old. Maybe I'm too Latin. Maybe my beard is too long. No, those are just justification. The best time to take action is when? Now, right? You guys are with me. So notice, this is just like a real seminar. Act as if. Don't think because you're doing it in a digital platform that there's no connection. If you connect the longest 18 inches, which is the one to heart, people can tell. That's why I want people to be real. So we're going to go real quick. Why social media is so important today? Well, when you're doing social media, the one thing I tell people is work on the brand. The brand called you, not a logo like this. In fact, Tony Robbins is the largest one in our platform. When you're a speaker, he's actually the king of the jungle, right? But people don't remember his logo. They remember his face. So I want you to keep that in mind. You are your best brand. Start with you. I've been called the Latin Tony Robbins for years, and it was cool when I was young. I'm not that young anymore. So I don't want to be the Latin Tony Robbins. I want to be Bert Oliva. So part of it is I let this beard grow. I changed my physique. So now it's like, you're like Tony Robbins, but you're different. Cool, I want to be different. But you will recognize me because I'm either always in a 3-piece suit with a vest, or you'll notice the beard. I am my own brand. The logo is a bonus, but people won't remember the logo as much as they're going to remember you. So start thinking about, what can I do to stand out in the crowd? There's 3 types of people. People that walk in a room, people that arrive. However, there's very few people that change the room. And that's who you want to become, the person that changes the room. And that's a whole different seminar, but we can talk about that. And there's certain techniques for you to actually do that. Subconscious messaging. When you're speaking and you have a busy background, chances are they're so focused on your background, they're not listening to your message. So what is your message? How are you going to dress? What's the type of attire? Because subconsciously you're sending messages. That's why when people say social media, well, social media, think about it. Social media, algorithms, artificial intelligence, it's all created by human beings, at least so far as I know. So there's a person doing this programming. They think with a mindset of subconscious programming. So it applies even on a digital platform. We're people. So at the end, subconsciously, what are the messages you're giving out? So that's something you should actually write down and start thinking. And how am I delivering my message? What am I showing by the way I look, or the way I speak, or whatever the case is? And then tools to brand yourself on social media. So I'm going to go ahead and click over here. 2 major companies. Google owns YouTube. So just by putting videos on YouTube like Shannon is doing this, don't worry about the amount of people that are going to watch the video. That's cool because those are really vanity numbers. Don't worry about the vanity numbers. You want to worry about the volume. The more content you put out, the better it is for you. So Google owns YouTube. So if you put out enough video, like I have close to 3,000 videos, I've been doing this for a long time, chances are that if you type my name, Bert Oliva, at least for the first 5 or 10 pages, I'm going to own those pages. Why is that? Because you don't have to pay for SEO optimization. You're doing it by using videos, and they own video. Their best interest to promote the videos as long as the name type connects. Like if your name connects with your brand across social media, they'll say, this is definitely the same person. Let's go ahead and show this video. So when they do a search for Bert Oliva, you don't have to go that far to find videos. Some videos I wish I wouldn't have put up, but they're up. The whole thing is, at least there are videos out there. The other part is Facebook. Facebook owns WhatsApp, Instagram, and friend feed. What is that telling you? These 2 giants are the ones really controlling the internet. As long as you learn how to use social media, you won't have an issue. They kind of all works the same. So I just wanted to bring that up. I'm going to talk about today's social media, even
Bert,
though my main, yes.
I just want to remind everybody, because your intro video is fabulous, and you did one for me, and you do that kind of stuff. That's what, so people can come to you. I just want to make sure people know that if they want something like that,
well, actually, they can't come to us because there's no events, and we do those in live events. Yeah. However, we did come up with a new product called Digital Reels, where we're able to create videos with your message through Zoom. That's something new that no one else is doing. So we can actually show you, we do a little presentation to show you how to set up your set, which is your background. We work with you on setting up the right lighting, and then you work on your message. We record it, we edit it, we put title bars, we put music, and it becomes a professional video. It's called Digital Reels. So Perfect. Just got to think out of the box. So that's something else that we have. So thank you so much, Bob.
And one other thing, I love this yellow logo with "Make It Happen." I never saw that before. By your name, it's so cool.
Okay. Yeah. So thank you so much. So what we're going to talk right now is social media. Even some of the tools I'm going to focus on Instagram because it's the #1 social media platform in the world currently. However, every single tool that I share works on all the other social medias. So if I'm talking about direct messaging, you can direct message on Instagram. I mean, on Facebook, you can direct message on Twitter. You can direct message, on LinkedIn. So a lot of the tools will be cross-promoted to different platforms. So at the end of the day, let's just work with Instagram, because if you're not on Instagram, you should be on Instagram. If you don't have a large following on Instagram, that's okay. Because if you follow, at least if you follow us, you'll learn a lot of the tricks, tips, and everything, because we even have a new series that just started. This is called POWERTOOLs, and they're like 3-minute videos showing you step by step, one tool or one tip to actually increase your organic reach on Instagram. So basically, people, if you have Android or iPhone, it doesn't matter. Both are going to look the same. So I don't want to hear someone tell me, but I have an Android and the presentation you showed me is actually an Apple presentation. No, they're both identical. So if I say 3 lines up here, they're going to be 3 lines on the other side also. If I say your profile is going to be identical over here. So effective posts. How do you do an effective post? This works on all social media. However, on Instagram, this is what you want to do. You want to click the plus button when you're in your profile. Once you click the plus button, let me open these up. And let me go over here. So what's going to happen is you're going to go ahead and tag a person. There's a difference between tagging a person and mentioning someone. So you want to go ahead and grab the picture you're going to upload, and you're going to tag the person. When you click tag, as soon as you click tag, there's going to say, who is this person? You're going to go ahead, right here it says, who is this? This is my wife and myself in Pennsylvania, right before this whole thing happened. And we were at a steel factory. And then what I did was I want to tag her. I want people to know that she's in the picture with me. So I went ahead and you go to the search button up here and you start typing in the person's name. As you type in the name, their profile image will pop up. You click on the profile image, and once you do that, now who's this is going to say Alexa official, Alexa Oliva official. You've just tagged the person. However, when you're tagging someone on Instagram, it only works on Instagram. It goes to that special photo album that Instagram creates of the ones that you've been tagged in, the pictures you've been tagged in. What you want to do is you want to do tag, and then you want to do mention. When you go to mention, by the way, you click the checkbox and it goes in. So now you're doing mention. Mention, write a caption. Where the caption is, you're going to mention that person. How do you mention a person? Use the @ sign. So I would say, I'm here with Alexa. We're here in Philadelphia, in Bethlehem, and we're the steel mill. And at the end of the day, you know, instead of saying Alexa, I would say @Alexa official, right? Alexa Oliva official. What happens is now she's been tagged on Instagram. It goes into her public photo album that Instagram creates from everyone that tags you. But because I mentioned her, when that image goes to Facebook, it will let her know on Facebook, you've been tagged, you've been mentioned. So by mentioning a person on the feed and your Instagram is linked into your Facebook, you're now making sure that that person on Facebook also knows they've been tagged, because maybe their preferred social media isn't Instagram. Their preferred social media is Facebook. So you want to make sure you tag and mention. Once you've done that, the next thing you want to do is you want to go like location. Now let's do this really quick. Location is really important because this is called geotagging. If you're doing a location geotag, what you're telling the algorithm is that I am currently at this event. I'm in Marriott, or I am at this restaurant. So by doing that, you will get people within that vicinity, within the area, to see your post. It's like hashtagging the location. So if I'm at Marriott in Orlando and I say I'm here and I tag BAS and I tag Marriott, you'll be surprised how many times Marriott will actually repost your image, especially if it was in their lobby or the food that they're delivering. So at the end of the day, now you're actually getting a further reach just by tagging a location. What I tell people is when you're tagging a location, especially women, don't do it if you're at an event by yourself, because you're letting people know that you're there by yourself. So my recommendation is wait till you're leaving and take all the pictures you want. When you get in your vehicle and you're ready to leave, that's when you tag the location. So if someone shows up, you're no longer there. And men too, but you know, especially women. The thing is, social media also is letting people know that you're not at home. So if they don't have your address, you're okay. But if they have your address, maybe you don't want to tell them you're out of town. So this is something to keep in mind. You can also geotag a location after you're gone. However, the power won't be the same. The power works really strong when you're at that location. Geotagging is great in restaurants. When you tag the restaurant name in your tag, you mention them and you do a picture, and then you put that picture up and you tag the actual restaurant and location, they repost that. And for all you know, it might be a reason why people will come into your account and say, wow, they take pictures of, they take great pictures of food, you know, or whatever it is. If you're in Tahiti, if you're in Belize, you know, just have fun with it by tagging a location. It'll give you a larger reach. So when you tag a location, if you look at the last image, it says Miami, Florida. I tagged Miami, Florida, and that's what's going to show. So how do you do captions? When you do captions, keep in mind story sells, fact tells. A lot of people get into fact telling. When you give out facts, people are like, it's too deep, too much information. If I go ahead and talk about neurolinguistic programming, I say, well, it's all about your physiology and your breathing patterns. It all depends on the mindset that you have. And if I get into that, people are just not going to go. But if I tell them a story, you know, when I learned neurolinguistic programming, I remember learning that depending on where my eyes look, if I look to my right, I could be looking to the past. If I look to my left, I'm looking into the future, and vice versa. So now you're telling us, tell the story, then add the facts, and you'll get more engagement. Also, make sure you add a call to action. The reason you guys are not selling is you're not telling people you have something to sell. So don't become a salesperson every single time you do a post. But I'll give you an example. When we do a post to do the free online webinar, in that caption, we'll say, by the way, we're doing a free online webinar. The link is in my bio. Let them know that there's a way to actually attend the webinar, guide them to the close, let them know that you have a product or service. If you do too much of one thing, they won't know. If you do a lot of selfies, they'll say, okay, this guy's good looking, but they don't even know that you're in the seminar business. They don't know you do health and wellness. They don't know that you do health and fitness. They have no idea. You have to break it up and give, like sprinkling some seasoning on food. If you put too much salt or too much pepper, it's not going to taste good. You know, so at the end of the day, you got to season it. So season it and let people know what you do for a living. You'd be surprised how many people, even people that are close to you, are not sure what it is you do for a living. So you want to make sure you put that into your captions. So I'll give you the hashtags. When you do hashtags, Instagram allows you to have 30 hashtags. At the end of the day, you have 30 hashtags. When you have these 30 hashtags, you want to actually, you want to fly right under the radar. Because if you use 30 hashtags all the time, then it'll tell the algorithm, this could be a bot. These people can be, you know, it's like they're using an app. But if you do like 29 or 28, then they won't even know. They won't even notice you use that many hashtags. So I'm going to give you a recipe that you're going to do 21. Like in my book, Shannon, it takes 21 days to change or create a habit. So 21 hashtags will shift the way that you're doing business. So right here, this is an example of your caption. When you write your caption, do not put hashtags in your caption. I've seen people say, like, for example, here it says, the real secret to success is, and then they'll go ahead and say secret to success. They'll put the word together and make it a hashtag. No, that looks like you're spamming, number one. Number two, people won't be able to read it. So make sure you write your caption. After you write your caption, go ahead and do your periods to do a separation and put your captions on the bottom. That way, it won't even show when they first see your image. They have to view more in order to see the hashtags. So make sure you don't put your hashtags with your caption. And then now let me take you to the hashtags real quick. How are you going to search for hashtag? You're going to go ahead and look at the magnifying glass once you're in your profile. When you click on the magnifying glass, this thing called Explorer is going to show. Now I'm going to go on a little tangent real quick. When you look at this right here and you see the Explorer, this is like your DNA. This is what happens when you start surfing certain things. When I did this, I was surfing for bodybuilding, health and fitness. So they're showing me a bunch of people working out. I was checking out my beard and how I can trim it and so forth. So they have a gentleman here with a beard, right? So whatever you search for, I love camera equipment. You know, for those of you that know me, I always have the latest and greatest gadget. So what happens? They have a camera equipment right here. They see me driving, you know, this is Arnold Schwarzenegger, bodybuilder in a nice car. You know, so this is what they do. So just so you know, you get your significant other's phone, you open it up, click on the little magnifying glass, and you know what they've been searching. Just kidding. What happens is this gives you an idea that if you open Explorer and you don't like what you're seeing, you need to start unfollowing certain people. You need to start liking, be more selective on the things you're liking, because you're leaving a fingerprint behind. So if you look at mine now, it's actually totally different. This is an older one, but I just wanted to share this because a lot of times this will tell you, if let's say, for example, Bob, he talks about mindset and well-being. If I open this up and I see links that go to mindset and seminars, and okay, then actually I've been doing the right job. But if I'm opening this up and there's a bunch of bodybuilders, you'd be surprised how many people reach out to me to tell me, hey, can you help me, you know, with changing my physique? I'm like, no, dude, that's not what I do. But because of this, they were promoting those people with my content. So again, remember, the person that programmed it is a person. The machine that's actually doing the algorithm is smart. So they're following your method of learning and clicking. So again, let's go back to search. So you're going to search here. When you search this, the search button is going to pop up on top. In this search button, we're going to go ahead and use the example speaker. I'm a speaker, so I want to go ahead and get speaker hashtags. As soon as you click on speaker, what you're going to see here, the first thing you're going to see is top. Top is what's being populated or at that precise moment. When this was done, Nancy Pelosi was being populated, even Nancy Matthew was being populated, other people were being populated that precise moment. You don't care for this. This is not what we want to look at. We want to look at tags. When you click on tags, now you're only following hashtags. So as soon as I click on tags, this is what's going to come up. Only hashtags with the word speaker. So if you look at this, it says speaker 3.3 million. You look at this, it says speakers 1.1 million. So you want to go ahead and focus. So let's go ahead and let's work on number one, tri-county or tri-states, depending on where you live. Forget about going global. If you haven't been successful within your area, chances are you're not going to be successful around the world. So let's go ahead and start within your area. So what we did here is said, why don't we add the word Miami? When we added the word Miami, speaker Miami, notice the list is a lot smaller. It's no longer a huge list. Also, the numbers change. So Miami speaker is 100 plus. Speaker Miami is fewer than 100. The other one is speaker box. And then the third one here, a fourth one here says Miami motivational speaker 100 plus. So basically when I broke it down to speaker Miami, I could be speaker Melbourne. I could be health and wellness Melbourne, right? Or Davie or whatever your city, state you're in. And now you're targeting a smaller local market where you can actually expand. So what happens here is now I have 3 hashtags I can actually use. Now let me go to the next slide. This is our recipe. You try this recipe and I guarantee you within 24 to 48 hours, you're going to see at least between 30, 40, 60, or 80% not reach. Yeah, you're going to get that much of a reach within your posts just by using this recipe. So what you're going to do is you're going to get 7 hashtags that are only 7 hashtags that are 100 plus. So remember when I showed you when we started doing the search, some of them had numbers that are 100 plus. You want 7 that are 100 plus. You want 7 that are 1,000 plus, and you want 7 that are 10,000 plus. You don't want to get the ones in the millions, because when you do that, chances are if for at least 3 nanoseconds, you disappear. When you do something that is within your range, you're there for weeks, sometimes months. So as you start creating these packets of hashtags, you do one for leadership. I do one for human behavior. I may do another one for social media. Now I have 3 packets of 21. Depending on what my post is, I'll use those hashtags. Do not use hashtags of cats and put a picture of a dog. The algorithm will pick that up and then they'll come to you. Because we're in a point system. You get rewarded by using whatever features they're coming out with. Like right now, Facebook is coming out with something that's going to compete with Zoom. As soon as it comes out and you're on Facebook, use it. Because if you're the first people using it, they're going to promote you for free because they want other people to use the platform. So whenever something new comes out, be the first one to take advantage of that, whatever it is. Whether you fail on it because it's not a great program, it doesn't matter, but you're the first one. So before they take it off the shelf, they're going to promote it with everyone, and everyone will get to know you because you're using that one feature they just came out with. So every time there's a new feature, you're going to see my mugshot. We use all the latest features that come up because I want to make sure that you get remembered, you get seen. So using this recipe will actually change your reach overnight. If you have more than an average likes within the post that you're doing, and just go to, instead of 7 100, you go get 7 that are 200 plus, 7 that are 2,000 plus. As your number increases, you increase the recipe. It works immediately. Everyone that's tried it, they love it. Okay, then I'm going to go ahead and finish here with video. This is really important, and this is where I see a lot of people making mistakes. Let me go ahead and open this over here so I can look at you guys, because I'm going to come in close. This is what we're going to do. If you go ahead and you are now doing presentations, you're showing yourself to the, look at the iris. I said this earlier. There's a major difference if I'm talking to you And you see this sometimes. Some of these people do pre-recorded videos and they'll be like, well, today we're going to go ahead and talk about motivational moments. It's really important. I want to focus. You're not connecting. You're so busy looking at yourself. You're not connecting with your audience. Become comfortable in looking at that iris. If I go and do the same thing, welcome back to another motivational moment. Today, I want to talk about 3 tips that are going to change your life. Are you guys ready? I'm talking to you. So get comfortable with the iris. That is connecting to people's souls. That's the eyes are the windows to the soul. The iris is the window to the soul. So get comfortable with the iris, number 1. Number 2, if you're doing recording, record every day that ends with a Y. Make sure it's landscape, not portrait. If you do landscape and you decide to do a demo reel, like Bob says, and you now have footage of you speaking in different places, we can use this. We can't use this. The only time you're going to do portrait is when you're doing a live or you're doing a story. Most of the time, you just want to do landscape. So record everything you can with landscape. Believe me, even if it goes up on YouTube, on Instagram, and it doesn't work, you actually get your fingers and you can make it fall in place. You can shrink it or you can expand it. People don't even know that. When you're putting up a post and the image doesn't look right, play with your fingers like this and they'll go ahead and shrink right into size. However, if you recorded it in landscape, you can actually use this video on YouTube and get a lot of people to see it. But when you do it in portrait, it looks horrible on YouTube, right? So that you want to do everything in landscape. The other thing is you want to be real. You don't want to be perfect. A lot of people try to become perfect, and at the end of the day, that's a major mistake and major flaw in people, because I've seen people like waiting for the 3, 2, 1 to go live, and they're like 3, 2, 1. Hey, how you doing? Welcome back. No, they can tell. Just go ahead when you're ready to go live. If your attitude is, even if you're not having a great day, go ahead and press the live and say, you know what, guys, I'm not having a great day today, and I just felt like I wanted to talk to you guys. You'll connect more being real than trying to be perfect. Do not compare yourself to anyone else. There's over 7 billion people on this planet, and there's a huge amount of people waiting to meet you. And the only reason they're not meeting you is because you're not doing the right techniques and tools to actually get your face out there. There's no better time than now to market yourself and your business. It's never been so easy. You just got to go out there. The other thing is your background. When you're doing a video and you're looking at a background, you have this background, right? So let's say I'm in Melbourne. I'm going to go to Melbourne Beach behind Shannon's house, and I'm going ahead and I'm going to do a motivational moment. And next thing you know, that sexy man in his Speedo walks right behind me. You know the guy I'm talking about. He just stole my video, right? The guy just stole my video. So what I want you to understand is when you're about to record, before you press that record button, look at your background. Make sure that no one's there. And some of these people that like to photobombing and stuff, you want to make sure they're not there. However, now you press the record button. The Speedo gentleman walks by, that sexy beast of a guy, and you reference him. Yeah, well, look, this is what I'm talking about. People that really believe in themselves dress up like that. Then once you go ahead and talk about him, as you're moving him out of the frame. Now, if you reference that person, they didn't steal your video. You took control of your video. So make sure if something happens, you go ahead and bring it up and then move and control your background again. Remember, the background will steal the entire message and they won't listen to your message. And you don't have to be walking for this to happen. Even in your home, start looking at your background. If I'm looking at a background and I'm looking at like Sam, he has cute dimples, but that's a whole different seminar. I know that he did earlier. But like, for example, if I'm looking at a video, the young lady here, Daylight, she has that beautiful backdrop. However, the backdrop is moving. So when I'm looking at that, I'll be like, wow, that is beautiful. I'm not going to focus on her message. So you got to be very alert. Is the message going to tie into your background? So not just the gentleman in the Speedo, how's your background? And the last thing is you can walk and talk and you'll get more views. If you're at a location and you're using your camera and you're like Shannon does, like showing Gabriel as he's getting in the water or seeing the waves, people will pay more attention to that than actually, you just freaked me out, dude. You know, you turn blue and green. That's all right. We talked about that earlier. Someone will tell you how to set up your green screen. So what happens is when Shannon does that with Gabriel and she's like filming, people will pay attention to that because you're walking and talking. You're showing your environment. They're looking, people are nosy. They want to see how the ocean looks. And remember, just because we have the ocean in South Florida or on the East Coast of Florida or West Coast, a lot of people are in the Midwest. They've never seen water before. They've never seen an ocean. So take advantage of what you have. Show off what you have. This is about gratitude. You're taking it for granted. Show off what you have. This is a beautiful view. Look at my beautiful backyard. This is great. You know, to other people it might be ugly, but to most people it's gonna be gorgeous. So go ahead and use what you have. So
check out that alligator. Check out that alligator in my canal back there.
There you go. And you'd be surprised how many views you get for that. And then once you have those views, chances are they'll come back to look at another alligator, and then you start doing your presentation on how you can change people's, get rid of their pain through mindset training. And they're like, oh, I didn't know this guy did this, but they came to see the alligator. That's okay. It makes sense. So let me go ahead and finish this off because I know we're going a little late, but I just don't want to, I just want to make sure I give you value. So I want to make sure, let me see if I can go through some of these things real quick. We're done. And then we'll go to Q&A. If you're doing video, these are two great apps that you can download. Power Director is great for Android, so you can edit your video. iMovie is absolutely free if you have an Apple phone. Try it. It's not that difficult, so you can actually do your recordings, do your videos. If you didn't like the beginning of it, you can chop it. You didn't like the ending of it, you can chop it. You didn't like the guy in the Speedo, you can chop that too. So then I'll give you this one, Linktree. It's a great resource. You can go ahead. And by the way, I got one for you, Shannon, you don't know about. Linktree is www.linktr.ee, not .com. When you go on social media, especially Instagram, they only allow you one link. When people say, go to my bio link, it's just one link. This way you have access to different links. So you have my latest book, my webinar, whatever the case is. If I'm doing a free webinar, I would make that my first top link. And then since I have the same link tree on all my social media, it goes across all social media. However, major companies are not looking for influencers anymore. They're looking for micro influencers. There's a major difference. Influencers, The Rock, 180 million people follow that man. However, his reach is it's about 3.5%. Micro influencers are people that may have 1,000 followers, but their reach, their engagement is like a 12%. So major companies are willing to give money to a bunch of micro influencers than to give it to someone like The Rock, because there'll be more engagement, people will love the product, they'll get more of a loyalty following to the product. So this is what you're going after, not to become an influencer, become a micro influencer. So this company over here called Let's Engage reached out to me, and they offered me the same thing as Linktree. The only difference is this one allows me to put pictures. So the cool thing about this is that they reached out to me because now companies, they themselves have robots to go out crawling and finding out if you're a micro influencer or not. So even my coaching students, some of them still have this, but as they become stronger and have a better engagement, will reach out to you. So I told them, look, you can reach out to them. They do a search on you without telling you. If they see that you have a good following, they're going to give you access to this for free. This is cool because it has images, it has pictures. However, they're also a speaker bureau. They will book you. So if I tell you that my speaking for 1 hour, I do a keynote and it's $15,000, they'll go ahead and find the people that will pay the $15,000. They don't get a commission off the fee. They're making their money on the back end. So I knew Shannon would be interested in this. This is cool. So letsengage.com, you and I can talk about it over the phone later, but this is something that's really cool. And again, it doesn't cost you anything. The only thing is, as you become a micro influencers, you'll have a ton of these things. I have a ton of companies reaching out to me to test their beard product. I wonder why. But that's what happens when you start, people will reach out to you to help them promote their stuff. Okay, so all you have to do is go to the cheat sheet. You're going to go follow Bert Oliva, direct message me. Once you direct me, I'll send you the cheat sheet. You'll have a copy of the entire presentation, not the entire presentation, but all the highlights, things that you can actually go back and reference. Also, you can also take a picture. I recommend this to everyone. When you guys are in a webinar, take a picture of the screen, whether it's a screen with a bunch of people or the screen with the PowerPoint, whatever it is, take a picture of the screen. So that is social proof that you were there. Now what you do is you would take a picture, you would tag the person, you mention the person in the caption. You now end up on my photo album. If I'm in the picture, I'm going to allow you my photo album. Guess what? Now there's over 50,000 people that follow me that they might stumble across you. Now they see you on my photo album. They see you on Shannon's photo album. They see you on Bob's photo album. That's how you get your face out there. You're cross-networking, cross-promoting. So when you go to these channels and you're doing Zooms, take pictures, do a quick, write an engaging caption, add hashtags. These are 7 hashtags that really work for us. So we gave those for free, but I would add another 14. So you end up with your 21. And now you're in my photo album. And then when we see pictures that are done like that, we then promote those images into stories. But that's a whole different seminar. Now, with Master Your Influence is what we're talking about here is a 3-hour workshop that we do. And I'm just not going to spend too much time here. I'm going to break it down for you. One of the things that we do is direct, we have 2 modules. One module is how to set up your profile, how to create an avatar, the look and feel so it's consistent across the board. Hashtag targeting, how to target specific industry with hashtags. Effective apps on how to use them. The apps that we actually use for distribution. We share with you exactly the apps that we're using, the do's and don'ts for posting, and then social presentations, how to present yourself on social media. That's module 1. That's about an hour and a half. After that, we go into Q&A. Then we go into another hour and a half, and that's more about working in, Instagram to that next level, the level up level. That's where we design effective posts that are effective to actually brand yourself, using stories, build influence, finding leads, how to find leads on social media and how to convert those leads so people can buy from you your product or service. We do this with a bunch of direct marketing companies now lately. So this is a strong module. Here it talks about strategic strategies, who to follow, who to not follow, how to unfollow, or how to follow. If you follow too many people, you get shadow banned. They'll remove points from you. If you follow too many people too often, they'll remove you from social media. People don't know that. How to build rapport on social media. Also the analytics, the reporting, the parts that the brand companies, when they come to, they want to know the analytics. They want to know what's really happening, not the vanity likes, the numbers in the front end, what's happening behind that. For example, one of the examples we have is I had one image that only got 97 likes, but it reached 5,000 people. That's what's important, the back end, and we show you how to use that. And basically here, what we do is we have this event happens a few times, twice a month. It's about twice a month. What you need to do, and I'll show you right now, I'm gonna go ahead and come out of here. What you need to do is, if you're interested, and again, I didn't come in here to sell you guys anything. I came here to, but if this is something that I can't let you guys pass because it's something that's not normal. We usually charge $1,000 to go to this event. We're not doing that. It's 90% off. You can choose the date that works for you. And once you choose that date, let me go ahead and see if I have it here. This is, Master Your Influence Online. And you can choose the date that works for you. It's 3 hours. And I'm not going to lie to you, it's probably 3.5 to 4 hours. We like to give them a lot of information. It's not a huge crowd. It's usually more of a smaller group. All you have to do is go to bertoliva.com/masteryourbusiness, which is MYI. Once you log in there, it breaks it all down for you. And we're only doing it for $100 for the 3 hours. I would tell you that the best thing you can do if you're ready to take your business to the next level is make sure you go ahead and lock your date in, because we don't know how long we're going to be doing this, because as soon as the doors open, we're back on the road. We won't be doing this for a long period of time. But
Bert,
this is
tell me where I'm putting a lot of stuff in the chat here for people. So what do you go to? You go to Bert, go to
bertoliva.com
okay.
/MYI.
MYI. Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
And then the thing is, Bob,
yeah.
The thing is, that's another tip I want to give. For those of you that have programs, don't go buying domain names anymore. What you need to do is brand new. So if you notice the larger influencers, like, guys that I work with and myself, all we've done now is everything is after Bert Oliva. So if you want to attend a free 1-hour webinar, because you might want to go back and learn some of the things, and I'll do it a lot slower and more, because it's kind of late and I didn't want to just burn you guys out. But that would be bertoliva.com/MYBO, Master Your Business Online. If you want to do the 3-hour program, it's bertoliva.com/MYI. So if you have a program, you have a book, don't go getting another domain name. Brand your name.com/ whatever the product is. People will remember the name eventually if they keep seeing it over and over again. So a lot of the big influencers, that's what they're doing. They're not buying new domain names. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Any questions you guys may
have? Lots. Go ahead.
I don't have a question, just a comment or an upgrade. First of all, you saw when I got on, that's when I saw the email and link. So I only saw maybe the last third of this. It was fabulous. Hopefully I've got my fingers crossed I get to see the whole thing. Bert, thank you so much. The last 2 weeks, I've just begun to work with my entire alumni association for my university. Check out your university and find out who has their own networking events. If it's like mine, they didn't have one. So it's a hidden opportunity. How many tens or thousands of people could you actually affect by connecting all of your alumni? Wow, wouldn't that be cool? Our school didn't have anybody doing it.
What you're saying is so true. There's a lot of companies that I've worked with and I still work with. Right now, we're not working with them because we can't go to their events. But you'd be surprised. Some of these event planners, they'll bring in 10,000 people to a room for a convention. But they weren't set up for digital. They weren't set up for virtual. So you're lucky if 30 people show up and attend one of their virtual presentations. So if you guys have learned all these things from Shannon and you're doing Zooms, it's another revenue source that you can do by actually teaching people how to do it this way and promote it and get expansion. The more people you're able to reach to right now is really the best thing. We've all heard for years, people buy from people they like, know, and trust. That's not the way I look at it. The way I look at it is, okay, people like you, they trust you. The reason you're broke is because no one knows you. You have to get out there. What better time to get out there than now? What is your excuse? You'd be surprised how many people will coming up to me and tell me, my excuse is that, Bert, I would do every single thing, every single program you do. Shannon, I would attend the BAS meeting, but I just don't have time. Okay, well, Corona took care of that. Now that you have the time, are you still doing it? No. So time wasn't the issue. The issue is you weren't taking action then and you're not taking action now. Look, life as we know it right now will definitely never be the same. Those that take action right now and take advantage of this amazing opportunity to brand your face, get yourself out there. I've been working harder than ever, and I have my counterparts telling me, well, I'm not working as hard. Okay, that's fine. You can go and do whatever you want. But I'll tell you what, I saw Diane here this morning in another event, then I saw her here. I'm doing 3 to 5 webinars a day. I do like 3 lives a day. I do my own private coaching. I'm traveling virtually all over the world by doing this. Why not? Why not? What do you rather do? Watch CNN, constant negative news, or Fox News, and then go ahead and get all this information inside of you and then feel depressed and like shit the following day, even worse? No. Get out of your own way. This is your moment. Age is just a number. Doesn't matter how old you are, what gender, or what religion. It does not matter. What matters is you need to wake up and take action and live the life that God or your universe wanted you to have. The only reason you don't have it is because you're not taking action, period. And you can, and I'm not talking to you, by the way. I'm talking to everyone in here. I know it feels like I'm talking to you.
Is that an iris qualification? Like,
yeah, I can't help it. I've been doing this for so long. I love you guys. I love that iris because that's the way I would speak to you if you were in front of me, right?
Yeah, sure.
So, any other questions?
That was a mouthful.
Look, I see a lot of potential. I see you guys just by being in here at this time. You want something better for your life. you want to do it, just do it. Don't second guess it anymore. We don't have time for that. We don't know how long this is going to last. We don't know if it's going to come back around. We don't know if it's going to go ahead. We don't know if we're getting a stimulus check. And for some of us that make X amount of money, we're not getting a stimulus check regardless. So at the end of the day, what are you waiting for? This is a perfect time. Do you know how many new millionaires and billionaires will be created in this downtime? A lot. And it's already happening. The only difference is they're taking action. Look, that dream that you had, that thing that you wanted to do, this is a time to do it. Go out and do it. Go out and make it happen.
Make it happen. Yeah.
And
What happened?
You're,
What happened?
you're muted. There you go.
There you go.
oh,
Go ahead.
sorry. I'm sorry. I too, like you, I got another thing to shift to. Really enjoyed, your participation and energy and information tonight. I don't know about this stuff. But this is all the more reason why we need each other, to do this, but I can't do what you do, but I know you can't do what I do. And there's no learning curve time now. It's all now. And what I think we're doing, I would like to leave it as a burning thought in all of you. How do we come together and we all celebrate one another's talents and strengths in this and show the rest of the world how this needs to get done? Because I didn't hear bricks and mortar in any of this anymore. We can do this anywhere, anytime, any place. And I just love what's going on here. Thank you so much. And
I want to
Thank you, Jeff.
I want to remind people to save the chat if you want to get some of the notes that I put in there. So go down to the chat window and get the 3 dots and click on those and save chat, and then you'll see the notes that are in there.
Thank you,
And
Dr.
Bert.
Well, Shannon, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna send you I have a file of some people. I've been collecting people that I do webinars. I do webinars for and podcasts and interview style. I'm gonna go ahead and send you that list so you can share it with your team. And all they have to do is reach out to these people. They might interview them, they might not, but at least they know where to go. These people are actually doing it. I've asked them if it was okay. They said yes. So all you have to do is reach out to these people. Get your face in front of as many people as you can. This is what you need to do. And I'll give you that list so you can go ahead and share it with your team.
Thank you, Bert. That's beautiful.
Yeah, but reach out to them. If you say, look, I met you because I went to a webinar that Bert was there, or Bert's my best friend, or he's my cousin. I don't care what you say. Just reach out to them and say, I heard that you do interviews. What are the qualifications? That's usually what I tell people. What are the qualifications? They're like, no, they'll look at your website, they'll look at your background, they might have a little conversation with you, and they're like, you know what? Can you join us live next Wednesday? Sure. And be in front of people. Get interviewed. It doesn't matter if they have a large following or not. Just get an interview.
Beautiful. And
The gentleman over there raised his hand.
You're muted.
Can't hear.
You're muted.
Gotta unmute.
Your mouth is moving and nothing's coming out.
Okay, now I'm good, right?
there you go.
Okay.
Hi, George.
Okay, hello. So Bert, if I wanted to call you, how would I do that? Would I just call to make an appointment with you?
What would you be calling me for?
Good question. Well, we're kind of in the same industry. I have a leadership and performance development consulting practice with world-leading experts. I've got a large following, and I'm not online, and I'm about to be online.
Okay, so it
So I
depends.
thought there
When
might
you
be
do-
some collaboration there. If not, that's cool too.
The what?
You
Yeah.
said there might
Did
be
you-
an opportunity for collaboration.
Yeah, but let me share something with you, George. I'm more than happy to actually. I'll go ahead and Calendly. Yeah, Calendly, the software Calendly, or I don't know how to spell that.
Calendly.
Yeah, there you go. I'm Latino, man. You got to work with me. So, so can you type it up? Calendly
Yeah,
/
I got it here.
Bert
I got it.
Oliva.
Calendly / Bert Oliva. Got it in the
Yeah.
chat.
I will give you 15 minutes. If in 15 minutes all you're doing is trying to sell to me, then the call's not going to go anywhere. The reason I'm telling you this is I want you to understand, when you're reaching out to people, do your due diligence, find out more about them and see how you guys can really work together. Come in with an action plan. Do not just come in to try to sell them and say we do the same thing. Because I definitely know that we don't do the same thing, even though it may sound like we do the same thing. And I'm not saying that I'm better or less than. I would like to know what's your strength and what it is we do similar. Maybe you're stronger at mindset and I'm stronger at physiology. I don't know. Do your homework when you're making that first call, because all you have is a certain moment of time to get that person to either work with you or just, this is not the time, and we still are friends. We part friends. So it's just some advice I'm giving people. When you're going out to people and you're reaching out to these leaders in the industry, don't reach out to them to see how you can work together. Reach out to them to offer them something.
Well, wouldn't that go both ways, though?
Yeah, but you're the one that said you want to reach out to me. Keep that in mind. If I wanted to reach out to you, I would be reaching out to you already prepared, because there's something there. I'm just teaching you a lesson here, because this is what people do all the time. They're losing out. No, I don't mean it in a bad way. I'm not disrespecting you in any way. Please don't feel that way. I'm just trying to teach, because this is what happens. There's a lot of people that reach out to me. I'm online all the time. And a lot of those people that are reaching out to me are trying to sell me a product or service. You guys know this. This happens to you too, George. People will reach out to you on LinkedIn and tell you, oh, George, we can work together. The first half hour, all they're telling you is all these products they have, and they don't even know that you do the same thing. They haven't done their homework. If they would do their homework and know more about George and how long George has been doing this, and how great George is, and say, you know what, George, I noticed all these things, but you know one thing I didn't notice? You're not on social media. I can help you, but I'll tell you what I'll do. I'm going to help you for the next 30 days at no cost. And if I can increase your reach and you can make money off of that, would there be something for us to do that we can actually work together and make money? Why not? George would say, okay, go ahead. You're doing it for free anyways. But come in with that mindset, not coming in to sell a person every time you get a chance. So I would love to talk to you. I think Bob put the link there. Let's talk. But this is an example of what's happening on social media. I don't like LinkedIn just because of that. They're like, they send me a message. They're like, Bert, I can see we're speaking. I know you're a speaker and I'm a speaker too. And I can help you speak in large audiences. Well, why don't you look at my stuff? I can help you speak, in rooms of 200 people. We do that with Shannon every single month. We were in the mobile, remember, 300 people, 500 people Shannon would bring into a room. So at the end of the day, why don't you do your homework, Bobby? And that's what happens. So you want to make sure that you are well prepared, especially if you want real connections with influencers. You want to be really prepared to not insult them in any other way.
Well, you're absolutely right, and that's how I met most of the people that I work with. Shannon knows this. I've been speaking on stage internationally and all over the US for how long now, Shannon? 12 years. And so usually before I even talk to anybody, I already know who they are. I've looked at their bio. I've looked up to see who they are and why they are and what they're doing. And I generally come up with a conversation on how I can help them. It's usually not a sales conversation.
We're going to have fun. We're going to have fun. But it's just maybe just reinforcing what you already know. That's all I just wanted to bring up, and other people can learn from that.
Yeah, use it as a teaching moment, because it's like this is a chance where we get to learn and get to see, because I know, even though I know that basic skill, there's times where sometimes I get so excited to talk to
someone. Let me tell you something. I'm the most honest person you'll ever meet. I learned a lesson from Shannon about a year and a half ago.
You did?
I wasn't. Yeah, that's right. Another lesson, and I wasn't able to. I just wasn't responding in the right. I wasn't responding. I was just so busy. And she pulled me to the side and she's like, look, I know that, you're wealthy, you're great, you're this, you're that. I know people that are wealthier than you and they're doing better than you, and they respond. So I'm like, Shannon, maybe I got to work on my communication skills. Well, guess what? I respond every single time now. So sometimes you need a wake-up call, and it's okay. It doesn't make you less than. What makes you less than is when you're not ready to grow. The day you think you've learned everything is the day you've lost everything. Always be willing to grow and expand and learn. And that's how you build strong relationships. I know I'll be her friend for the rest of my life. People come into your life for a season, a reason, or a lifetime. It is what it is. Bob is another one. And so is, he left, Michael. Where did he go? Oh, David. Yeah, David took off. But these guys, that's what I'm saying. I build a long life relationship with them. And this is whenever she says, even if Bob calls me and says, hey, Bert, can you, do a presentation for my people for 2 hours? We will find time to do it. That's what people get to know. So you will learn a lot working with Shannon, Bob, and everybody that's in here, and just be open. Be open. And George, I can't wait to talk to you. We're going to have a fun time. So anyways, I'm going to go.
You weren't on the call, the last community call with Stuart Levine, but you know who I'm talking about, right?
No.
You don't know Stuart? Oh, okay, Shannon, that's your cue. Okay, so Shannon introduced me to Stuart Levine many years ago, and he's been a growth mentor to me now for 6 or 7 years, and I've introduced him to people that have become his clients, who are experts in the human performance technology industry. And last week, I guess it was last week, was it last week or the week before, Shannon? He was on here doing a presentation just like you. And I had read one of his books many years ago and had forgotten some of it. And you grow and you mature. And he had said a couple things on this, like what you're doing. And I was like, God, I've got to read that book again. And let me tell you, I ripped through that book this past week and relearned so much stuff, because 5 or 6 years ago, I wasn't ready to hear it. And it's the same thing with you here. You may be saying things here that that people have heard before, but perhaps it wasn't relevant to them.
Exactly.
But now it is. But you would know that it's all about them, right?
Yeah, right. No, that's why I tell people a lot of times, there's nothing that I'm going to say or Bob's going to say or Shannon that hasn't been said already. At the end of the day, this started years ago. I mean, Earl Nightingale, Napoleon Hill, those are the founders of motivation. So we're not going to say it different. It's how you deliver your message that makes a difference. And so that's one of the things I tell people. Anyways, I got to go, guys. I love you guys.
Thank you.
Thanks for your time.
Thank you, Shannon.
Thanks, Bert.
Thank you
So I'm
so
going to
much.
leave you with my message. I leave everyone. My name is Bert Oliva, Cuban born, American made. Remember to live life and don't let life live you. And I will see you soon. Love you guys.
Make it happen, Bert.
Bye.
All right, thank you.
Take care, Bert.
Thank you, Bert.